Hello, my name is Sheva, and I truly feel privileged to be here today to speak to you as the producer of Operation Big Sister, a narrative feature film, a documentary, and an online educational curriculum and call to action campaign to contribute to the efforts worldwide to end human trafficking. Ex-President Jimmy Carter has called human trafficking the most tragic issue in the history of the world. And if you're like most people, you're at least somewhat aware that children are being enslaved in the sex trade worldwide. And you've probably wanted to do something about it, but felt somewhat powerless to do anything, at least anything substantive. And this is one of the reasons that we're creating Operation Big Sister, because it is a vehicle by which average, everyday human beings like you and me, who are going to work and paying the bills and raising our kids and paying our taxes and doing what we need to do just to get by, can actually contribute to this issue and learn how we can become vehicles of change and stands for human dignity for every person in our human family. My inspiration to create Operation Big Sister and be a part of this global movement has been a personal one and a global one. From the time I was very young, I had visions of young girls coming to me, asking me for help, calling out to me, crying for help in ways that I simply didn't understand how to process that information. And this affected even my dating life as a teenager and a young adult. I couldn't go out on a date with a man and be kissed without hearing the voices chanting of these young girls saying, "Help us, help us." And I can't even begin to explain, nor have I ever publicly shared this fact about myself before this moment right now on camera. I couldn't process that information, and I certainly didn't know what to do with it until I became the co-vice president of a United Nations Peace Messenger organization, partially responsible for founding the International Day of Peace. And I was sent on their behalf to represent them at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. At the 57th Commission on the Status of Women, the theme was ending all violence against women and girl children, and human trafficking was top of the agenda. There, for the first time, I met the individuals that I had been hearing in my mind calling out to me for help. I heard their speeches, I saw their faces, I heard the statistics about them, and for 9 days was inundated about the data around them. The millions, the communities, the fact that not one state, one country, one city, one district, not one hotel is free of this scourge. And after 9 days being inundated with this, while I did suddenly understand what I was feeling in the field all my life, I certainly didn't feel any more empowered to do anything about it or any less hopeless until the very last day and the very last panel discussion I attended. And in that moment, everything changed. When Gudrun Jónsdóttir of Iceland stood up and said, "Enough. In Iceland, women don't just whine about these things, we do something about it." And she proceeded to tell me the story of Operation Big Sister. That is the story we want to not only tell you, but tell the world. And we're enrolling your help to do it. The 85 anonymous Big Sisters in Iceland, all anonymous except for Gudrun, have been single-handedly, and they're just like you and me. They're mothers, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're housewives, they're fishermen, fisherwomen. And they have organized a grassroots campaign over Champagne that has effectively not only changed legislation, but changed behavior in their society in marked ways. We want to share the positive deviance that is the Big Sisters, who have gone to great lengths to stop human trafficking, not just by passing new laws, but by picking up the phone and playing the role of prostitutes themselves, saying to men on the other line, "This is your big sister watching you. Didn't you know what you're doing is illegal and immoral?" And when the police said, "This is too hard to figure out, the pimps and the buyers of child sex are all underground, we can't find them," the Big Sisters took out anonymous numbers of their own And when people called for sex from children, sent men to the police chief's house for services to make it a little easier on them to be found. That's just the tip of the Icelandic iceberg of what these women have done to stop human trafficking in their country. We want to take their positive deviance and spread it virally far and wide. And to do it, we plan to use media itself. We have an incredible team of filmmakers on board to help us tell the Big Sister story, and we need your help to do it.